What up? 大家好，我是唢呐. And this is BBC Asks. What do you know about woke culture? Well, if you've been following our woke culture series on our 好机社频道, then you probably are already familiar with a social justice warrior. And today, we actually uncovered a video from a student of social justice education. And not only does she confirm everything that we've been saying, but she also exposes the dark secrets of woke culture in the education system. Leslie Elliott is a psychologist, a former law professional, and a mother of 4. And up until recently, she was getting her PhD in social justice at Antioch University to help assist her therapy practice, until she realized that this was not what she signed up for.
I've had a couple of criticisms in the comments under my videos that if I wasn't on board with social justice ideology, why did I choose a school with such a strong social justice mission statement? And I want to respond to that. I did not know, I was naive to the true meaning of the phrase social justice when I began this program. When I thought about what social justice meant, what I thought was a beautiful ideal in which we strive towards equality of opportunity for the most people possible, a world in which most, if not all people, can access the essential goods and services and opportunities that they need in order to live a good life. That's a value that I think is wonderful and worth striving towards. And what I did not know and could not have known at that time was that what this phrase social justice now means, it's a perversion of itself. It's critical social justice theory. It is a system of thought that overtly and explicitly seeks to deconstruct, dismantle, and replace Western cultural norms and values with a system of social hierarchy. We can look at this as sort of a social ledger in which we can think of ourselves as not as an individual, but as an intersectional package of identities. So your intersectionality is very different than individuality. Intersectionality is the idea that we all have these demographic categories. We can assign ourselves a value of privileged or marginalized for each of our oppression categories and see how we stack up against other people that we relate to socially. And the more marginalized you are, the more entitlements you have, because these are places where society owes you something back, or the privileged people in society owe you something. So these are things that you're entitled to that you have not received. And the more privileged that you are, you can think about this as encumbrances. So your privileges and your privileged identities are encumbrances and places in which you owe something back to society or to the marginalized people. So in this way, it's a hierarchical system of power in which the marginalized individuals actually have more power because they have more social currency, they have more entitlements than the so-called privileged people who are basically offensive in their very existence to marginalized people and therefore owe back something of themselves. This is all based on real but misguided and weaponized empathy for people who have suffered oppression for a variety of things or unfair discrimination.
Damn. It almost sounds like SJ Education is teaching people how to wage war on society. And in this next bit, Leslie is going to detail what their mindset is and how they weaponize ideas in society.
But the goal is not so much some endpoint of perfect fairness and equality for all in every way, because it's impossible to ever actually achieve such a thing. There's no way we could completely equalize everything that it means to be a person in every experience that we ever have, or every attribute that we have. So the goal isn't some perfect equity. It's instead a process. The goal is to change your mindset and to cultivate something that they call a critical consciousness. It's not critical thinking. It's very different than that. It's a critical consciousness whereby you're performing a perpetual interrogation of social dynamics in search of inequities and places where you've been wronged, and you can be resentful. That resentment is that power, it's that social currency, it's the you owe me, the entitlements. So in this way, social justice thinking is sort of a philosophy of anti-resilience and a philosophy that upholds victimhood status. And if you want to drive social justice people into an absolute fit of rage, you can say a phrase like, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Because to them, when they hear that, they hear you saying that the marginalized person, the oppressed person, the victim of discrimination should just suck it up because they'll be better for it. And so, just deal with it, which of course is a perversion of what is meant as a statement of encouragement towards building resilience and ego strength. Another thing that is incredibly offensive to the social justice people is the concept of color blindness. When a person of my generation says color blindness or thinks about color blindness, we're not saying that we don't see each other's color and that we don't recognize racial and ethnic differences, and that we don't know that a person's background and ethnicity and race will likely have a lot to do with their formation and the experiences that they will have had in life. What we're saying is that we don't automatically attribute personality characteristics and experiences and worldviews to each other based on what we can observe physically in each other. We wait for the person that we relate to show us who they are. And, in whatever capacity we know one another, whether it's as friends or whether it's counselor to client, we don't assume a personality or a worldview or a package of experiences based simply on observing someone's skin color, which is exactly what the social justice approach does.
Wow, that was a lot to unpack, but I want to know what you guys think about it. And we actually have a second part of this video coming soon, and I highly recommend that you check out our channel as she just joined a couple of months ago and could use your support. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side. Peace!